Welcome back to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. This is your all-in review show. It was an interesting weekend. I thoroughly enjoyed myself over at Wembley, being a part of All In Live. Um, I just want to make a quick shout out to Blacksmith Apparel. They put on a really nice meet and greet with Bullet Club, War Dogs, Driller, Mahoney, and Gabe Kidd. I was fortunate enough to get the old merch. You will see the new merch is now here. Big shout out to Ministry of Wrestling guys for helping me sort that out. Ministry of Wrestling podcast, go and check that out. Also, go and check out Ringside Renaissance podcast as well. But yeah, big shout out to the guys at Ministry for helping me secure the new drip. It was good to see those guys. Really good to see the wrestling family as well this past weekend. There's a really nice picture of us on socials to go and check that out. Artemis or Tommy Kyle or Adonis Payne, any one of those guys. Just check out the guy. It was really nice to see them and thoroughly enjoyed my time with those as well. We did mention Blacksmith Apparel. They did have a bit of an issue at Wembley Park trying to shut them down. Really, really bad for them. They did nothing wrong. And yeah, not very nice at all. So big shout out to Alan and the team there and your dad. It was great to meet your dad. Hope all is going well and we get to see you do another pop-up shop again soon with some more autograph opportunities. It was really good to see. And again, don't be too disheartened, buddy. These things happen and you're smashing it, mate. So hopefully we'll see you very soon as well. Did get a chance to have a quick snap with Dante Martin as well. That's on our socials. Go and check that out. Yeah, I don't normally do that when they're walking from the hotel to the arena, but everyone else was doing it. So I thought, fuck it, I'll jump in and have a go. Okay, let's actually get into it. Got into the stadium. So the issues that I need to raise about this, there's two issues that AEW definitely needs to improve on, especially over here. I don't know what it's like in America. I've never been to watch an AEW show in America, but there's two things that I would say AEW needs to improve on. Number one is put screens everywhere around the ring. That up atop there wasn't. They normally have like four screens, so anyone at any side of the arena could look at. There wasn't. There was people that were actually fortunate enough because there were some seats available. They were moving seats so they could see. Second thing is don't have lights on underneath your main big screen over by the stage because people that can't see were aiming to look at that screen because they had no other screens to look at and they couldn't see because of the really bright lights underneath it was making it impossible to see and there was chance of we can't see, turn the lights off and all of that stuff. So just yeah, just do a bit better on that. I think just maybe take that back and improve it because we were fortunate we could see we had a TV in front of us, but I could see where people were coming. There was literally, and this is no word of a lie, there was literally two people, at least two people that I saw that were wearing sunglasses just to be able to see the main screen. So just be, yeah, I'll just make it a bit, yeah, it's just things to maybe take back and improve. And we'll talk about them coming back in 2025 and 2026 very, very soon. So we'll run through quickly the pre-show results. The first one confused the hell out of me because I'm sure there was heels teaming with faces, faces teaming with heels, and I really wasn't sure about this match because it got added. I think it got added during the day. And because Signal, especially for free network customers, is shocking, I couldn't really get onto socials enough to be able to look. But they announced a 16-man tag to go alongside a 10-man tag as well on the pre-show. And this kicked off it. It was Tommy Billington, Kip Sabian, Rocky Romero, Kyle Fletcher, Leo Rush, Action Andretti, and Top Flight were with Don Callis. So picture that one against Jay Lethal, Satnam Singh, Anthony Ogogo, Araya Divari, Private Party, and Dark Orders, John Silver and Alex Reynolds, and they're with Evil Uno and Sonjay Dutt. So it was a bit of a mixed bag. Suffice to say, the team of Billington, Sabian, Rocky, Fletcher, that team all won. That they won their match. It was a really fun, action, fast paced match on to kick off the show, which is kind of what you need really on these pre-show matches. And one we'll get into in a bit more detail. It was the one that had the story involvement. So for a long time, Statlander turned on Willow. They've been battling for quite a while. Statlander aligned herself with Stokely Hathaway, and they've been kind of try and causing a bit of reign of terror on Willow Nightingale. Nevertheless, these two collided in a mixed tag team match. Obviously, Statlander had Stokely. Hathaway, although Willow Nightingale had Tomohiro Ishii as her partner. With this one, I always think with these matches, because what was going on was the winners of this match was going to choose the stipulation for the match at All Out in 2 weeks' time. There's literally 2 weeks between two pay-per-views. They added a week, which I think was a good thing to do as well. Usually when you get a match where winner chooses something or the winning gets advantage, that kind of thing, you generally go with the heels winning to set up, and it's either the heels win to stack the odds and the face still goes through, or the heels stack the odds so much in their favor that the face don't win. So usually favors the heel going into this. Stokely Hathaway had a tremendous entrance. I'm quite sure what he come out on, but he was laying down, must have felt really comfortable being carried to the ring. And he was doing his best not to get involved with Ishii. However, later on, he gives Ishii a spine buster for a 2 count, which I thought was quite humorous because he spent most of the time trying to run away from him. And however, AEW did go against the usual, or say against the run of play if we're talking football, and put over Willow and Ishii in the match, which gets me thinking that perhaps Statlander is going to win the title All Out in 2 weeks. The stipulation wasn't selected during the match, so I'm assuming that's going to be on Dynamite this week. We're going to get to see the stipulation, so looking forward to that. And it's a good, again, that one had the story behind it. These two hate each other, which is really, really good. And it's going to be good to see and interesting to see what the stipulation is. I think I went lights out against Dave, and I kind of need to do that, get the extra bonus point because he got the result of the match right on this one. So yeah, it was get another little fun one for the pre-show. Now, the last match on the pre-show, there's something else that happened on it. Pitted the Von Erich. This was the 10-man tag. The Von Erichs, Guevara, Rose, Shibata, and they were with Kevin Von Erich, and they have taken on the Undisputed Kingdom of Taven and Bennett, and the Cage of Agony, Brian Cage, Toa Leona, Dave, come here, please. You're on holiday, I know. Dave, funny enough, Dave was in London for 2 days. He done Saturday, done some meet and greets. He was with us on Sunday. It was always great to see my AEW guru. And then went back to Tipton on Monday and then drove to Newquay, which, for those of you that don't know, Tipton to Newquay is probably about 8 hours in an electric car. Yeah, crazy. You're mad, Dave, but enjoy your holiday. Hopefully, you'll be on this week, actually. We can have a chat about your holiday and all in. Anyway, moving swiftly on. The 10-man tag we just mentioned. Look, again, and it was another fun match. They were flying everywhere in this. Guevara doing his usual stunts. Brian Cage flying over top ropes and Christ knows. Dustin Rhodes, to be fair to him, he was going to do it and then actually thought better of it and decided to do a spinneroonie instead. It was a bit of fun, this one as well. Again, not a surprise that the faces won this one. Von Erich's Guevara. Pretty sure Guevara won with the 450 or the shooting star. I can't quite remember. I'm sure he done some flying move to win it. A bit of a mixed response for Guevara by the crowd as well. So, but anyway, nevertheless, the faces pick up the win on that. Again, another fun little match on the pre-show to get us ready for the main card. Now, at that point, I thought, right, 15 minutes to go, or 15, 20 minutes to go. I'm going to use that time to go to the toilet and thinking nothing's going to happen and we're all going to be good. By the time I get back, Saraya is in the ring with family, with Ricky Knight Jr., with Zack Knight. I think her mum was in there. Rio was in there. Independent wrestler Rio was in there. I'm sure it was Mercedes Blaze from the Cutthroat Collective from Rev Pro. They were all in the ring. It's like, what's going on here? And Saraya was basically saying that it's a disgrace that she's not on the card. She had her opportunity to be on the card. She did lose against Toni Storm at Dynamite this week, and that would have put her on the card. And she was taking the show hostage, and that the show wasn't going to go on until she was on the card, and that nobody was going to stop her. And when somebody says nobody's going to stop me, that somebody ultimately is. And that person, I'm delighted to say, was the returning Jamie Hayter. Jamie's been missing for over a year due to injury. She missed the last All In, a bit like me. If you want to know why I wasn't there last year, just go and check out an old video. You'll know the health complications I had that prevented me from going to All In last year. Jamie Hayter come out, took out everybody. She is back. The women's division gets another big time boost with Jamie being back. I was loving to see Jamie back in the ring. It was so good to see her. But she got an almighty roar as well from everybody, which was really, really good to see. Yeah, really, really good to see Jamie Hayter back in there. And hopefully, you'll go for a title very soon, and I know exactly the person I want you to go for, and we'll get into that in a minute. But yes, Jamie Hayter returned at the end of the pre-show, which was again very nice to see. Sets us up nicely as that was finishing. Ladders were coming to the ringside. I did, so if you didn't need to, if we needed a clue as to what the first match was at All In, it was the Fatal Four-Way London ladder match between the champions, the Patriarchy, Christian Cage, Nick Wayne and Luchasaurus, with the House of Black, Buddy Murphy, Malachi Black, and Brody King, and the new team of the Blackpool Combat Club, consisting of Wheeler Yuta and Claudio Castagnoli, who got some air miles this week because he wrestled in Wales. He went to wrestle in Mexico and he come back to wrestle in London all in the space of a few days. And they were teaming with the UK's Bastard Pack. We know this was meant to be a Death Triangle, but we know kind of what's going on there. For those of you who don't know, Death Triangle are apparently leaving and WWE bound, although there is an issue that AEW can add about a year to Rey Fenix's contract. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, as you can imagine with ladder matches, car crash TV to start, which you can't do any better than that. It was great. They were flying everywhere, going through tables. I think there was one point where they got both of them come off the ladder. I think there was like the House of Black had. I was also the Bang Bang Gang. Sorry, I forgot to mention the Bang Bang Gang in this. Juice Robinson and the Guns. And there was one point where I'm pretty sure it was the House of Black. The Bang Bang Gang, the Guns were on the shoulders or jumped on the back of the Bang Bang Gang who were climbing ladders. They fell right, they jumped back across, fell through the tables that were at ringside. It was a crazy, crazy match. Loved it though. It was a great way to start. Tables going through, spots off of ladders. The interesting part of this was that the Patriarchy lost the championships on this, and there was a bit of an issue with Killswitch and Christian Cage. More on that in a minute. However, this led. Oh, the funny bit, I forgot to mention, sorry, that the funny bit of this match, at the start of this match, as the match started and everyone was starting to fight, Christian Cage decided to run away right back up the ramp and he come back later. But yeah, I forgot to mention, I should have put that down. It was just scribbled on my notes here that just I had to write notes when I got home late and it you don't even want to see it. Um, yeah, Christian Cage run away, come back, and then they had a bit of an issue, him and Luchasaurus, which cost them the tag team championships as the probably the team that I was not expecting to win the most, being the Bastard Pack, Wheeler Yuta and Claudio Castagnoli, pick up the victory on this. They won the Fatal Four-Way Ladder match and ultimately are now World Trio Championships. Which does that mean Pac's a part of the Blackpool Combat Club? What's Moxley going to think of this when he comes back? Lots of stuff going on. There are lots of bits and pieces, but like I said before, there is a bit more later of Hook and Christian Cage, so that isn't finished yet. Anyway, one of the best storylines that AEW have been put on recently has been Mariah May Timeless Tony Storm. So they rewind back to the Owen tournament, which was won by Mariah May. That gave Mariah May a shot at Tony Storm at All In. To the delight of Tony Storm, Tony Storm wanted Mariah May to win. What she didn't know was it was all a ruse by Mariah May all along. The moment she won the Owen, she hits Timeless Tony Storm with the shoe and ultimately betrays her. And basically, it comes out was that was the plan all along to get in tight, to get the opportunity to get the women's championship off Tony Storm. Cue All In. They had a really good 15-minute match. There was a blood in this. Mariah May hit her own mother at ringside. She slapped her around the face at ringside. It was crazy, crazy, crazy. Um, Tony Storm had a great little video package to bring around. Some of these guys had WrestleMania like entrances, you know. She did. It was great. But however, after 15 minutes of the match, Mariah May wins the Women's Championship and she is now AEW World Women's Champion. Interesting. I was torn on this one. I think I went with Tony Storm with my heart instead of my head on this. But it was great. The story planned out well. There was the bit where they went for the shoe and didn't hit the shoe. And as I said, there was blood in this. It had a lot of good stuff. These two put on a great women's match. And to be quite honest, put the other women's match to shame. We'll get into that. And I have to get into it, unfortunately, in a bit. And you'll have my feelings on that known very, very soon, but you could probably tell what's coming. But Mariah May, congratulations. It was a great match, fully deserved the championship as well. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens to Mariah May and what's next. Obviously, there's a got to be a rematch with Tony Storm as well. It was quite funny. The cameras saw Tony Storm literally as she was leaving she was walking up the ramp and the fans were cheering for her and all of that. She was like it was kind of like she was getting her last hurrah and it was quite funny what she was doing. And then I've seen a video now of her since walking up Wembley Way with Luther still in full gear, literally not the pay-per-view but her full ring wrestling attire. It's outstanding. She has been so good as Mariah May, and I'm looking forward to yeah, she's Tony Storm story has been so good. I'm hopefully it's not the end of the character. I want to keep her with her character, but we'll see. It was great. Okay. FTW Championship match. Hook Jericho. Jericho obviously come out with a learning tree, Big Bill and Brian Keith. He started Fozzy played him out, and he was like, "Hi guys," and that is really about as good as it got. Hook come out with a bit of Taz's music, which was nice. That was really good. The sort of yeah, I love that bit. And then the bell went. Um, so just to give you a bit more of a thing on this, Hook, if he had lost the match, he'd never get an opportunity at the FTW title while Jericho was champion. So that was that bit. Yeah, the bell went. And it was just a 10-minute snooze fest. They tried to, I think they bought apples in the ring, cricket bats. There was bits and pieces brought in. I think I love the learning tree, and I like Big Bill, and I like Brian Keith, and the Jericho character's fun, but I don't want to see Jericho wrestle for me. Not again. I didn't like it. It was a waste of 10. You could have added 10 minutes to somebody. You could have added minutes to these matches on the card, to be quite honest with you. And it went, yeah, it happened. The best thing about this match, well, was the end, but the best thing about this match was at a point where Hook was getting he was getting triple teamed at one point, and Taz had enough. Put the Taz mission on as well. Hook gets the Taz mission as well. Red Rum onto Jericho, taps out, and that was a good moment with Hook and his dad, and that was nice to see. But the rest of it, just DVR it. Don't even bother. Is what I would say. It weren't that great. The match that was next, which was the triple threat tag match, it was a three-way tag match for the AEW Tag Team Championship. FTR, Acclaimed, Bucks. It only got 12 minutes, which I thought was way short. It the caster rap was interesting. Said that FTR looked like members of the EDL. Those of you that don't know, check out the riots that have happened over in the UK in the last month or so. It was hilarious anyway. That rap was good. The match was fine. I mean, don't get me wrong, like it was really good. It was always going to be good with the Young Bucks, with the Claimed, with FTR involved. Went through hitting each other's finishes at one point, which was quite interesting. Um, or it was like half the team hit half, like the Shatter Machine was hit half by Dax, half by Caster, or something along those lines. That was quite a good little thing, actually. I really enjoyed that bit. But I just felt as if this match was getting going as the Young Bucks won and retained the championships. Yeah, it did. It needed. We literally, like I just said, scrap the Jericho match off this card and give that an extra 10 minutes because we didn't. No one cared. The lot. Tell you what, if you want to see something and showing how much no one cared about that hook match, check out the line for the toilets. It's on social media. Legit line for the toilets was huge during that match. Near enough as big as the other match that we're going to get to in a bit. Um, but yeah, I felt as if this triple threat tag match was getting really, really good. This is also it was really good for what we got. I just feel a bit shortchanged that we didn't get long enough in this one. That's the disappointing thing. But look, you can't always get what you want, right? And there were some other matches on this card that were brilliant. So, but nevertheless, Young Bucks retain the championships. There we go. Casino Gauntlet time was next. Now. This is where it gets good. This is where it gets good. So, um, really enjoyed this match. Now, the interesting thing about this match was it was Royal Rumble start. So it was like a Royal Rumble way to get into every sort of, wherever I mean, it didn't go every 90 seconds. I can assure you some of them felt like 10. But with the first two that are in the ring, if one of them gets the pinfall, the match is over before everybody else gets in. I like the concept because it means that sometimes you might not even get all of the competitors in there and the match ends. So that's an interesting concept. I actually like that, to be fair. Orange Cassidy was number one. For those of you that live the program in England, Mr. Bean, you need to check out Orange Cassidy's entrance. It is outstanding. It is a homage to Rowan Atkinson and Mr. Bean. It was brilliant. It was, if you remember the start of the program where the spotlight comes in and he falls flat on his face, it's that. It's awesome. I loved it. He was number one. Okada was number two. Got a massive reaction on that. And fun enough, and you think, well, that was a big reaction. Number three, Nigel McGuinness. Oh my God. And can he still go or what? Goodness gracious. What is he doing on commentary? Get him back in that ring. That guy, it was amazing to see him. And he can still go with the best of them. It was so good. Kyle O'Reilly was number four. Zack Sabre Jr., the G1 winner, was five. Him and Nigel McGuinness had a technical masterclass. I said this on TNA this week where we were watching Gresham and William Regal's son, and his name escapes me. So apologies. But these two, they need to put a collision on or something on and have them to go at it, or wait until next year, and I'll get into that in a minute. Roderick Strong was next, then Mark Briscoe, Hangman Adam Page, Jeff Jarrett come out, and then the number 10. And no, it wasn't Sean Spears. And the number 10 was the debut of AEW of Ricochet. Yes, Ricochet, it turns to AEW. He wins the match. It was, no, he doesn't win the match. Sorry, he debuted in the match. Massive pop from the crowd. Really, really loved this. It was great to see he was going crazy in the match, as you could imagine what Ricochet does. It's been on the horizon. It was kind of teased for a while that was going to be the case, that Ricochet was going to come to AEW. We have said on this program enough that Ricochet kind of, his style, everything about him suits AEW a lot more than it suits WWE. And that isn't a hit at WWE. That's just a fact of what AEW is a lot more. I don't like to say it's a lot more wrestling based, but it's a lot more high flying, high octane, high action based. With now the storylines are coming into it as well. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to knock them now. The storylines are coming in together with it, and it's making for a better product. But in terms of him, where does Ricochet suit AEW? And I'm glad that he's there. There's a lot of thing about it. He's only going to be on there 2 months, and he's going to be doing this. I don't think Ricochet is going to be winning heavyweight championships. Would he win the mid card titles? Maybe. And the people's always just the mid card. We're talking about what's better for him. And what's better for him is being on is being on a program which suits his style, which suits what he does. And that's why Ricochet is going to win AEW, and that's why he's going to be a great success at AEW. At number 11, hobbling, trying to run to the ring, was Christian Cage. He bless him. He was obviously in the match the ladder, which I did tell you that the Christian Cage kill switch thing hadn't finished. He hobbles down to the ring to try and compete in this match. And the last competitor in this match, Luchasaurus, not Kill Switch. We're coming back to Luchasaurus now. Everything had changed. He had changed. He gets back in the ring. He grabs Christian by the throat. It looks like Luchasaurus is going to basically end Christian Cage's hopes. And then he choke slams. I can't remember who it was. He choke slams somebody else. And Christian Cage picks up the pinfall, wins the Casino Gauntlet match, and with that can have a shot at AEW's heavyweight championship whenever he wants. It was a complete shocker, really. I didn't expect Christian Cage to win this. I thought Hangman Adam Page was winning. I don't think anybody had Christian down winning this match. I don't even think people expected Christian to be in the match, considering he wrestled a ladder match at the start of the show. Do you know what though? In terms of like how a character has evolved and how someone has taken something and run with it, a bit like Tony Storm, Christian Cage is doing his best work I think he's ever done in AEW. The story with what he's doing, the patriarch, he's the father, he's doing everything. Everything that he's done in AEW has turned to gold, and I think if you're gonna give him the championship or give him an opportunity at championship, he absolutely deserves it. And he won. This match was brilliant for him, and he won it with Luchasaurus or Kill Switch's help, nevertheless. And there's still a bit of tension. I think we've still got more to come to that, I think. But Christian Cage gets a World Heavyweight Championship opportunity whenever he wants to cash it. There we go. But Ricochet as well. Nigel McGuinness being back. That match was a bundle of fun. And then we move on to the absolute brilliance. Will Ospreay, MJF. Will Ospreay getting his Assassin's Creed type entrance, which was great. MJF doing the All-American entrance, looking like a Wyatt Xavier Woods or whatever his name was. Consequences Creed, was it? Yeah, looking like the guy from Rocky as well coming out. This was 25 minutes of brilliance. I've never seen Will Ospreay have a bad match. And it had the story being at MJF's return. He beat Ospreay for the international title. He renamed it the All-American title, or whatever you want to call it. And then Will Ospreay gets his match at All In. It was interesting. Will Ospreay took a hell of a beating in this one as well, to be fair. And it's always about the storyline has always been about Ospreay not wanting to use the Tiger Driver also on this because he Danielson, he needs surgery and all that sort of stuff because of the Tiger Driver. And Ospreay's been afraid to use it ever since. Well, it was a culmination. He couldn't beat MJF. Everything he was throwing at MJF, he was, just kicking out. MJF was throwing everything at Ospreay. Ospreay was kicking out. There is a ref bump in this, and MJF goes to use, I think it's like a knuckle duster, and all of a sudden, someone has grabbed MJF. He's wearing a mask. He's grabbed MJF. He's prevented him from using a knuckle duster. He punches MJF to the ground, takes off the mask. Daniel Garcia, who MJF had put out with a tombstone off the top rope about 6 weeks ago on Dynamite, has now costing MJF this match. And then Ospreay uses the Tiger Driver on MJF to pin him 1, 2, 3 and win at that point the AEW All-American Championship, which Will Ospreay then gets from Christopher Daniels, the International Championship back. So Will Ospreay defeats MJF in a great match. Really, really good match for the championship. Probably a 5-star match, I think. It had everything it needed. Well, I think one match actually beats it, and we'll get to that in a minute. But it certainly wasn't the next match. Guys, look, listen, I've never been a big Mercedes Moné fan, even in WWE. I always felt that she was the weaker one of the four. And yes, she listen, she put some good matches together. There was a good one with Bayley. She had a few with Charlotte Flair. This one was Britt Baker. So Britt Baker had returned. Obviously, Mercedes had come in, Britt Baker had come back, and these two were on a collision course at All In. Um, Mercedes got her big entrance. Man like Dries was driving her to the ring. um, Britt Baker come out. This match was shit. That is as simple as, and I don't mean to be massively negative, but it was absolutely shit. Hated it. Sloppy. I think personally, and I said this, I tweeted this out or whatever you want to say on social media. I think Mercedes Moné is absolutely stealing a living out of AEW. People are blaming Britt on this one as well. To be fair, look, he may well have been. I don't know. This match was 17 minutes of shit that I'm never going to get back. The best thing about it was when the bell went and Mercedes Moné had retained the title. I couldn't care less. I care more for Camille, who did get involved. There was a fun bit where Camille was getting involved. She had the title belt in her hand on the apron. Britt Baker fell to the floor like Eddie Guerrero, and referee threw out Camille in the match. And I'm more interested in Camille getting her time to shine than I am anything to do with Mercedes. And the match was shit. And I've seen people say, "Oh, the match was good." Well, that's your opinion, and you are entitled to your opinion. If that's what you think, if you think that was good, you think it was good. That's up to you guys. I'm not going to say. I'm not going to, it is what it is. Um, but it was shit. I hated it. Really, 17 minutes of a match that you could have added to somewhere else and been better. There you go. That was that match. Semi-main event, interestingly, the match before the main event, Jack Perry, Darby Allin coffin match for the TNT, sorry, championship. TBS championship, by the way, was still Mercedes Moné. Jamie Hayter, just go and win it. Hurry up and beat her for it. I can't. It has to be done. Anyway, Jack Perry, Darby Allin, TNT Championship coffin match. It only got 10. This is the thing. It only got 10 minutes. It could be time constraints because maybe some matches gone over. You wasted my time for nearly half an hour of a show by having two matches on the show that really, you know, fucking Learning Tree and Mercedes Moné. Off. Give these guys more time. And it did go quite well. These two were going in on it. Enjoyed what we got of it. There were some crazy spots in it, as you can imagine, with these two going at it. Really good match. Jack Perry picks up the victory in this match, which was, I don't know. I kind of wasn't surprised in this. I mean, they had some. I mean, they had, I think they had some barbed wire bits. I think glass. That was it. Real glass was involved, ladies and gentlemen. Crimea River. That was a chant as well. That was going around. Yeah, they used real glass, or glass was used. Jack Perry took the brunt of that in this. He did end up, I think it was threw him off the stage through a table, put him in a body bag, put Darby Allin in a body bag, took him out to the coffin, eventually got him in and closed the lid and retained. But that wasn't the end. And I I have to admit, the one thing I missed last year from All In was hearing Seek and Destroy from Sting for the Sting's entrance. I gutted that I missed that last year. So as they go to set the coffin on fire, imagine my delight when the lights go out and that song plays and Sting appears and takes them out. I, I didn't, just that for me made that match. I loved that. I admit I really wanted to hear that song live, and it was so good that I got to hear it. It's a Sting coming out, saving the day for Darby Allin, who's in a world of trouble at this point. It was great. He did do a really good bit where he sat up out of the coffin during the match. I was like, that was a good bit just before the end as well. But Sting coming back and saving the day from Darby. However, Jack Perry retains the championship and moves on. But Darby Allin does have a shot at the title at Grand Slam coming up, though. I think it's Chicago. He does have an opportunity at the championship. So, does he beat the champion? we're going to find out who the champion is right now, and then we'll find out if he beats him. Nevertheless, Grand Slam next year. Before we get to the main event, Grand Slam next year emanates from Australia. Yes, AEW branching out off to Australia next year. And next August, the bank holiday weekend in August, they're not going to be doing All In 2025. That is going to Texas, I believe. But we will be getting Forbidden Door. Yes, that's a pay-per-view that I really want to see. We're going to be getting that over here in August next year. Location has not been announced yet, assuming Wembley Arena or O2. And I think that's wise to put it in a smaller venue. I'm not sure Forbidden Door would have that appeal as like an all-in. So really good. So it'd be good, interesting to see where they're going. The O2 Arena would be probably be the best shot, to be fair. Would love it if it's there, but we'll see, because Wembley Arena does have Box Park where they can do some bits and pieces beforehand. So we'll wait and see on that. But yes, next year, Forbidden Door comes to the UK. Happy days. Right, main event. Jesus. I mean, Bryan Danielson, Swerve Strickland. It was announced that Swerve Strickland had signed a new contract until 2028 with AEW that morning. My God, Bryan Danielson got the entrance, the proper final countdown, a good video package before. Swerve got played out. Bree, Birdie, and I can't remember the young Danielson's son's name, so forgive me, was at ringside. Wow. I mean, I was expecting this to be good, but this was exceptional. Storytelling of the high school. Remember, if Danielson loses, he retires. He got hit with everything. Tiger Driver, not Tiger Driver. He got hit with house call after house call. He got hit. I think he's the first man to kick out of the JML Driver as well. In this, he hits a beside. I mean, after taking a batter in, he hits a Poseidon knee and he doesn't even flinch. I think Swerve just shrugged it off on this. It was incredible. Swerve done everything to try and put this guy away, and he kept kicking out after kick out after kick out. Hangman Adam Page comes out. Look, and then, after everything, he still wants Swerve. He still was going after Swerve at the end of this. And then there's still more to go. I think he kicks out the Poseidon knee. I believe he does at that point. But finally, 26 minutes on the clock. And 26 minutes, to be fair, of Danielson getting his ass royally handed to him. He makes Swerve tap out and becomes the heavyweight champion of the world of AEW. Brilliant, brilliant. Matt, outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Thoroughly enjoyed it. That particular match. Danielson's just amazing. Danielson is just incredible. Swerve was brilliant. This match had everything it ever needed and more. Whew. Awesome. Just awesome. And I tip my hat to them too. They were brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Uh, awesome way to finish the show. They got in the ring. I think Pac was in there, Claudio was in there, Wheeler was in there, Bree, Birdie, and Buddy. I think that's his name. And apologies if I've got that wrong still. But awesome, awesome, awesome way to end the main event of All In. This week on Dynamite, Ricochet gets his debut match against Carl Fletcher. What a perfect way to get! What a perfect way to give Ricochet his debut on wrestling. But it's been a crazy weekend of wrestling. Rev Pro knocked it out of the park. Progress knocked it out of the park. Ceasefire, you all knocked it out of the park this weekend. For the fans that attended nearly every show, you're fucking crazy, but I love you. And continue to support British wrestling. Continue to go into all the shows. Speaking of going to all the shows, Ignite September the 15th. Get your tickets for that as well. But nevertheless, All In for me. Do you know what? I'm probably going to be a bit overcritical, like 7.5, because the two matches that ruined it for me really ruined it. That and the production issues that we had on there. 7.5, maybe 8. Maybe I can push it to an 8 out of 10. But Still, I really enjoyed it. It was great to see everybody. It was a great show that I attended. Some of those matches on AEW blew me out of the way. So fantastic. But nevertheless, guys, keep it locked on this channel at HTT Buckle onto a Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast at all other social media outlets. We'll be back with Raw. Hopefully, Kylie Page will be joining us ahead of NWA 76 tapings this weekend. We've got pay-per-views galore. We have got this weekend. We've got TNA Emergence. We've got Bash at Berlin all this weekend as well. Can be another busy week, guys. Until next time, buckle down and stay safe.